Hello and welcome to Palace Intrigue. I am your host, Mark Francis. In the Telegraph, Camila Tominey writes, "If Meghan is an ordinary working mother, I'm Mother Teresa. If the Sussexes really were genuine working parents, they'd have a better idea of what it actually entails." Tominey explains, "It happens to all female celebrities with an Instagram following once they have children. As well as becoming mothers, these screen stars turned influencers become self-styled professors of parenting. It's like an open university course for women who do not know how to chop up fruit or have never encouraged a child to dip a carrot baton into a pot of hummus. Did you know that you can make crudities out of cucumber and peppers? No, we didn't, Meghan. Thank goodness you are here to guide us through this vegetable minefield. I'm not sure there are many working mothers out there who have the time to watch a series telling viewers how to throw a good kids' party, how to have girls' brunch in the garden, and how to be present, let alone reenacted. On Planet Meghan, where chefs make the food, stylists pick the wardrobe, hairstylists tease the locks, and makeup artists perfect the smudged eyeliner, working mothers bake focaccia, salt baked fish, and single skillet spaghetti. They also craft mixed drinks in mason jars, learning mahjong and indulging in their love of flower arranging. Back in the real world, bird's eye fish fingers are served with a beaker of squash. Mahjong is the takeaway you call when there's nothing left in the fridge. No actual working mother would ever utter the words, "It's a real delight being able to be a present parent." There's nothing delightful about working from home when the children are there. Just ask anyone who endured the horror of COVID remote schooling. If the Sussexes really were genuine working parents, they'd have a better idea of what it actually entails. Postponed sex due to exhaustion, and endless bargaining over the school run, repeated arguments about who is making dinner, petty squabbles involving loaded dishwashers and never-ending washing piles. In the New Statesman, Rachel Cook asks, "This isn't her house. Are these people her friends? Can she really cook or garden or do any of the things she coos about in With Love, Meghan?" Rachel writes, "In the first episode, Daniel is visiting. Daniel is an old friend. He and Meghan met on the set of Suits when he did her makeup and she wants to spoil him by prepping the guest room. What might this involve exactly? If I have someone to stay, ideally, never. I check for dust with a finger and then I chuck a clean towel on the bed. Ta-da! Job done. For a few moments, I made them relax on said bed myself, the better to admire the stain on the ceiling." But Meghan has bigger ideas. "What's by the bed for them?" she asks. And no, she doesn't mean a bucket into which a guest may vomit quietly after a full day of flour-strewn donuts and syrupy platitudes about connectedness. "Thank you for loving me so much," she announces in episode 8 to a group that has been invited over for yet another of her crudités platters. Far better to make a big jar of bath salts, or if this seems laborious, yes it does, a few no-faff late-night snacks. Simply open a packet of peanut butter pretzels, tip a few of them into another smaller non-branded bag, and then customize it with a hand-written label and a bow. Honestly, I'm not joking. Later she'll also tell us how to blow up balloons. Rachel Cook adds, "I think she does know Daniel. Together they made a culinary abomination she calls single skillet spaghetti. But about the other friends who drop by, I'm less certain. You're so tall," she says to her pal Delphina, a landscape architect, which I'm afraid did suggest to me a certain lack of familiarity. Alice Waters, the celebrated Californian cook, appears looking startled, as well she might be in this land of let's pretend. How on earth had they got Waters onto this stage set? The house where the series is filmed is not Meghan's. Was it a kidnap situation, or did they bribe her with the promise of carrot-top pesto and heirloom chard? When Roy Choi, another chef, is about to rock up, Meghan whispers coyly, "We're not friends yet, but we're going to be." My favourite friend, however, is Mindy Kaling, best known as one of the stars of The Office. According to Meghan, Kaling is a mum friend, and with this in mind, she's coming over to learn how to stage a children's garden party. In Britain, and perhaps in most of America, children's parties involve an excess of fat and sugar, and maybe a trip to a soft play area. But again, Meghan has different ideas. Forget sausages on sticks. What about art-scene crostini, or a rainbow made from fresh fruit? Used sliced bananas for the clouds. Does Mindy know how to throw such a party? Meghan inquires as they begin. "No, but the woman I hired does." Mindy replies a comment that put me on high alert. Was Kaling going to be lightly satirical throughout? Oh my God, she was. You may be wondering what Buckingham Palace thinks of all this. After the Netflix series dropped, the first statement from Buckingham read, "As Royal Colonel of the Queen's Own Yeomanry, the Duchess has visited troops based at War Corps Training Centre in Cumbria." The Duchess in question was Sophie. In the second episode of With Love, Meghan, Mindy Kaling recalls the excitement of receiving the jam in the post, saying, "When I received that in the mail, a box of your preserves, it was probably one of the most glamorous moments of my life. However, she confesses she became fixated on the numbering system as the jars were numbered 1 through 50. I looked at the label and it said there were like 50, and I, of course, having a very hierarchical person, was like, who are these other 50? Does having a lower number make me more special, or does having a higher number make me more special? She asks. Meghan, laughing and closing her eyes, responds, oh my God. Kaylin presses further, asking whether she had been ranked, prompting Meghan to insist, I did not think about it. It was not a ranking. It was just, let me share them. And then people started to take it personally. Kaylin jokes, people like me. She admits to checking Instagram to see who else received jars and zooming in on the numbers, a confession that has likely resonated with many viewers. Meghan clarifies that the first jar went to her mother, Doria Ragland, because it felt like the right thing to do. Kaylin playfully adds that many people wanted to taste her jam, but she refused, telling them, get your own jar. And there you have it. If you'd like to email us, our address is thepalaceintrigue@gmail.com. Please follow us on Spotify, Apple, or the app of your choice, and leave us a review of 5 stars if you're enjoying the show. Don't forget we have a new series out from Calaroga Shark Media. It's called White Smoke, The Path to a New Pope, a very timely and historical, cool look at the papal election process. Check it out, White Smoke, wherever you get your podcasts like this one. I'm Mark Francis. Thanks to John McDermott. This is Palace Intrigue, and good times.